And we are recording. Okay, first question we got. I got a few questions. I guess all these were sent since Monday. Yes, all of them are sent since Monday. So I'm going to put it in order. Let me get rid of this one. Let's see, who did I send? Oh, okay, that's the two that I sent. Okay, and I'm going to delete that and put these in order by subject. Okay. I hope some of these are not, shoot, I'm gonna have to do it by date. Evidently, I got some old ones in here. Okay, we'll just do it this way. All right, 3.188, 3.4. All right, that 3.188 shows up a lot. So let's do that 3.188. 3.188/19. Let's see what this question is. Okay. Oh my Lord. This is not a test question. It's not it's a stupid question. Okay. That I don't know why this question is on here. But what they're wanting you to do is they're wanting you to show that is a square root of I. So they want you to square both sides to equal I. Okay. So this is what they're wanting you to do. This is just a drill on algebra if you can do it. Okay. So I'm going to take my handy dandy do-jigger here. And this is not a test question. I would not put this on the test because to me it's out of place. And I'm going to square root of 2 over 2 plus the square root of 2 plus 2, over I, quantity squared is equal to I. Okay, that's what they're wanting you to prove. All right, they even say it right there. Okay, so that's how you start the problem out. Okay, and use the FOIL method to do that right there. So, or use shortcut number 2 or number 1, which says A squared plus 2AB plus B squared, square root of 2 over 2I. Okay, so A plus B, quantity squared, is equal to A squared plus 2AB plus B squared. And that's going to give you square root of 2 squared is 2 over 4 plus, well, this is going to be the square root of 2 times the square root of 2 is 2. And that's going to be 4. So that's going to be 2. Let's see, 2. That's going to be 4 over 2, isn't it? Square root of 2 times square root of 2 is 2. 2 times 2 is 4 over 2. Plus square root of 2 squared is 2 over 4 I squared. Well, this is 2 over 4, which is 1/2, plus 2I plus 1/2 times -1. And 1/2 times -1 is -1/2. So the 1/2s cancel and you're left with 2i. Wait a minute. No, that's not right. 4, 2, we'll cancel with this 4 and make this a 2. Yeah. In other words, 2 will cancel that out. And that will leave, it'll still leave 2i because square root of 2 and the square root of 2 is 2. So that'll still leave 2i. So you should end up with 2i. I don't know what this question's asking, but and that's what they're wanting you to do. I'm not typing all that in. So okay, that's what they're doing. And here you get now they're saying that cancels. Okay, I must have done something wrong. Square root of 2 times square root of 2 is 2. And 2 times 2 is 4. And 4 divided by 4 is 1. I'm sorry, I screwed that up. That's supposed to be I. Square root of 2 times square root of 2. And I know what I did wrong. I said 2 times 2 is 2. 2 times 2 is 4. All right, so square root of 2, square root of 2 is 2. 2 times 2 is 4. 4 divided by 4 is 1. That's the answer. And I is equal to, bring this down, I. So we get right here, we get 1/2. And we get here, we get 1/2. And then 1/2 times -1. And you left with I. And that's it. That's how you do that one. So you take A plus B, quantity squared. You got to square it. And A plus B, quantity squared, is equal to A squared plus 2AB plus B squared. And when you do all that algebra, you're going to be left with I. And I is equal to the I that you set it up with. This is not a test question. This is a misplaced question, but it's not a test question. What are y'all talking about? Y'all got to help me out. Yeah, thank you. I appreciate it, Mr. Mulata, smart ass. Okay, 2 times 2 is 2 times 2 is 2. Yes, I'm silly. Does that help? Whoever sent it, I hope it helps. But we'll do it again because I know there's several people out there that that has it. Mr. Mulata, you like making fun of me? Is that what it is? That's all right. All right, here's another one. Let's see, where's that 3 point? Here's another one. Mr. Mulata's not talking to me now. You okay, Mr. Mulata? All right, there's the same one. They didn't even change it. So you just got to go through and square both sides, or square this side. Okay. 2 times 2 is 2, right, Mr. Mulata? You should have said something when I said it. 2 times 2 is 4, not 2. Oh, Okay, so I'm going to delete that one. I think there's one more down here. Yeah, that's that one. So I'm just going to delete that one. And that leaves us with, let's see, 3, 4, 37, okay, 3, 3, 19/9. 3, 3, 19/9. First of all, is it a test question? Yes, it is. This is a simple solver, okay? First of all, the answer is no solution. Why? Why is it no solution? It should be in here. Okay, we got to put it in terms of I. Because you can't take the square root of what? You can't
Of a negative number.
Square root of a negative, exactly. So square root, or what does it say? Let me move it down a little bit. X squared is equal to negative 45. X squared is equal to negative 45. This is just like completing the square, the last step of finding the x-intercepts. Take the square root of both sides. And this right here is called the radical. Or in this chapter, like I told you before, this is called the discriminant. The discriminant says no x-intercepts because you can't have a negative under the radical. In mathematicians' terms, no solution. Okay? So if you have no x-intercepts or no solution, you got to write it in terms of I. Well, I've already shown you how to do that. X is equal to positive or negative square root 45 times square root of negative 1. And we know that the square root of negative 1 is I. And the square root of 45 is square root of 45, positive or negative. Now, some will want you to say I, positive or negative I, square root of 45. Or they may want you to break down the 45. Positive or negative 9 times 5 times I. And that's going to be positive or negative 3 square root of 5 times I. And they'd like for you to put the I with the 3, positive or negative 3I times square root of 5. That's one possible answer. This is the other possible answer. And then the last one is to actually, the last one is to actually take the square root of 45 with a calculator. But they're not going to ask you to do that. Because this is I, that means there's no x-intercepts. This is a test question. Now, you should be able, all of you should be saying, oh yeah, I remember how to do that. Break up square root of 9, square root of 5. I know how to do that. Y'all, that's what all you should be saying if you don't know. Okay? That's all right. This is your question, Miss Maxon. Okay? So, and like I said, some tests will take that and they'll say positive or negative I times square root of 45. Okay? So you got it right, you just didn't break it down all the way. No big deal. But that is a test question. Next question. 3.4. Oh, wait a minute, I skipped one. This is 3.157. 3.157/11. Is it a test question? Oh, yeah, this is a test question. Dang old I. So negative 5 plus 2I times 6 plus I. Okay, and I'm going to pull up my handy dandy FOIL method. First is negative 30. Outer, or if you're not from around here, outside. Negative 5i. I live in Belpon. I live in Powdersville. Outside. Inner or inside. Minus 12i. And last. Plus 2i squared. Now, remember what I told you in the notes the other day when I brought I into completing the square. If you will look at your notes, I put up in there, I said the square root of -1 is equal to I, and I squared is equal to -1. And I told you to remember that. What's wrong with 12i? 2 times 6 is 12. 2i times 6 is 12i. What's wrong? Oh, it should be positive. Thank you. All right, now combine like terms. And that gives you -30. How about 7, right? Positive 7. I suck at some subtraction. And when it comes to 7 and 8, I cannot add 7 and 8. I try my best, but I think that's 7, but somebody check me. Plus 2 times -1. And I'm going to put a kind of a highlight on this, because y'all know I do this for y'all. That I squared right there becomes -1. Ooh, I hate orange and black or orange and brown. I do not like those colors. Oh, that's why I don't like Halloween, because of orange and black. Ugh. You ever get color combinations that give you the willies? Orange and black together gives me the willies. I can't stand it. Okay, I know, I'm weird. -30 plus 7i minus 2, -32 plus 7i should be your answer. Orange and blue. So you're not a Gators fan, huh? Yeah, I'm the same way. I don't like orange and blue is not my favorite colors either. But the orange and black, ooh. It reminds me of those candies that you used to get and they were wrapped in orange wax paper and black wax paper, and they're the round taffies, peanut butter taffies. That's what it reminds me of. I can't stand orange and black. Okay, so that should be your answer. -32i plus -32 plus 7i. Let's check it. -32 plus 7i. Now, notice how it says write it. A plus bi. That's what I wrote it as. A plus bi. Need to write it in that form. That's the way they want it. I'm not going to argue which way you write it, but they'll mark it wrong if you put the square root or the 7i first. You can write it 7i minus 32, but I'm not going to say on a test they won't mark it wrong because they tell you to write it like this. Fantastic. And you feel good about yourself. All right, 3, 4, 11. Okay, we're going to do this. 3, 4, 11, 6. I don't need to skip them because somebody might want them if that's okay with you. Somebody might have the same question. Thank you. Okay, suppose that x represent one of two positive numbers whose sum is, why do they do stuff like this, is 18. Suppose that x represents one of two positive numbers whose sum is 18. Represent the other of the two numbers in terms of x. What is the restrictions on x? This is a stupid question. Why do they even have this in here? Oh, suppose that x represents one of two numbers. Well, that would be x plus something else is equal to 18. X plus blank is equal to 18. I'm just doing this because I've never seen this problem before. Represent the other of the two numbers in terms of x. Well, x sub 2. Okay, x sub 1 plus x sub 2 is equal to 18. What are the restrictions on x? Well, x cannot, I don't know. Well, there's all kinds of things. You can have 9 plus 9. You can have 18 minus, or 19 minus 1, or 20 minus 2, or I don't understand what the question is. Determine a function p that represents the product of the two numbers. I have no idea what they're asking here. So you have a right to send me, okay, instead of x of 2, they put a y. No, it's not me. This is a stupid question. It is not a test question. So I did x plus x sub 2. They say x plus y. Okay, so instead of x plus 2, you need to put x plus y. Okay, what are the restrictions on x? And solve for y. What they're doing is domain and range is what they're doing, but they're going about it all the wrong ways. Okay, whatever. Y, they're saying after you set up x plus y or x plus x sub 2, whichever one you want to do, solve for this one. So that's going to be y is equal to 18 minus x. And then they're saying set it equal to 0. 0 is equal to 18 minus x. So bring the 18 over. And x has got to be equal to 18. So unless you want a negative number, you have to use numbers that are less than 18. So x has to be less than or equal to 18. This is not a good question. And then what does C say? Okay, to find the product of these, multiply x times 12 minus x. Well, why don't they just tell you to do that? Some of these questions, you know, every once in a while you get a stupid question. This one is not that. It's not in my wheelhouse of questions that are important for this test. So let's take x and multiply by 12 minus x. And in this case, it would be 18 minus x. And that's going to equal, what did they equal it to? Equal p of x equals f of x. And that's going to be 18x minus x squared is equal to f of x. And draw a picture of it. And there's the vertex. Well, you could actually do that by saying negative x squared plus 18x plus 0 is equal to 0. And you could actually find the vertex by going, okay, factor out a negative. That's going to be x squared minus 18x plus blank is equal to 0 plus negative 1 times blank. Half of 18 is 9. 9 squared is 81. And that's going to give you negative x minus 9, x minus 9 quantity squared is equal to negative 81. We know the sketch is going down, concave down, and we've got a vertex of 9 and 81. So our vertex is 9, 81. We've got a y-intercept of 0, y-intercept of 0, 0. And our x-intercepts divide by negative 1, x minus 9 is equal to negative 81, or positive 81, set square root. 0 is our x-intercepts. That's not right. Oh, the square root is 9, so that's x minus 9 is equal to positive or negative 9. Bring the 9 over. There we go. So that's going to be 9 plus 9 is 18. So 18 and 0 are x-intercepts. I'm sorry. There we go. So we've got this information. We draw a graph. And it should look like 9 and 81. Well, 9 and 81 is going to be way up here. The y-intercept is 0, 0. And the x-intercept is 0 and 18. So basically, it's going which way? It's opening downward. So I don't know if that's what they want or not. This is not a question I would put on a test. So here we go. Let's go with the other number is y. Okay, that's great. Okay, now we don't, it's not y now, they changed it. Y. Oh, 18 minus x. Okay, great. Okay, we said 18, right? So x is between 0 and 18. And the function, we said that was going to be negative, what did I say? 18x minus 8 squared. 18x minus x shift up squared. The two numbers that yield the maximum product are, I don't know if they want the x-intercepts or the, determine the analytic and support graphically the two such numbers whose product is maximum. The maximum product would be the vertex. That would be 9 and 81. But I don't think that's what they're wanting. 9/81. 9 and 9. I disagree with that 81. I mean, that 9. 9, okay, whatever. It should be 81. Okay, I don't understand why they got 9, 9 there. I don't understand that. I understand 9, but I don't understand why they got 9, 9. Because that's not X and Y. X is 9, that's 81. Okay. I don't understand how they got 9 and 9. Does anybody want to put in any input here? I'm not going to tell you I know everything, and I've never seen this problem before. So this must be a new problem. Say again?
Would it be because the two positive numbers, sum is 18 and 9 is 18?
Okay. Okay, 9 and 9. Okay, I see what they're saying. In other words, 9 plus 9, okay, is 18. So if it was 12, it'd be 6 and 6. Is that what you're saying?
I think so.
I think so too, but the way they've got it written, what is the max on any curve? That's the vertex. So in my opinion, I don't know. I might be just crazy, but the question's not worded right. They should have, if they want the two numbers, well, the two numbers are the same. So really it's just one number. So unless you put a different number like 21 here, and then you'd have to put two numbers. Anyway, the vertex is 9 and 81. Ugh, this is a yucky question. Whoever sent this question, don't feel bad. Well, then they should say 9 squared is what they should say. They shouldn't say 9, 9. Anyway, I don't agree with this third question. I don't really care nothing about this question at all, but I've shown you how to do it. Halfway shown you how to do it. Now y'all know why I skip a lot of these questions. 3.437/18. I love this question. I love this question. Why do I love this question? Because this question is nothing but critical thinking. Okay? I'm going to write down the information on my sheet, and then we're going to do it on the sheet. A frog jumps from one place to another, and he's on a stump or whatever, and that stump is 3 feet 6 inches or 3.6, and he jumps from there and he lands on the ground or whatever. And that point right here is 0, 3.6. And the function is f of x is equal to negative 0.5x squared plus 80 plus 0.8x plus 3.6. And it lands at 3.6, 0. Okay, so here's what they got. I just drew this right here. And it says we can consider the initial position and its landing point, blah, 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 blah. It is determined the height, blah, blah, blah. How high is the frog and its horizontal distance from the base at 2 feet? Well, first of all, I'm going to go over here and I'm going to show you what I've drawn. And I'm going to label a couple of things. We all know that in a parabola, what is this called right here? What is that pink dot called? Starts with a V.
A vertex.
Vertex. Thank you for being alert. The vertex is the highest point. And somewhere in this question, it's going to ask for that. All right. Now, right now, it's saying what's the height at 2 feet? Well, you're going to take a green marker, and I'm just going to draw a there's my grid. And we know that this is 0 feet. I don't know what this is, but 2 feet would be somewhere maybe right in here. Let's say this is 1 feet. And this is 3 feet. So if I want to find at 2 feet, what do I do, people? If I want to find a y at 2 feet, what do I do? What do I do with that 2? Starts with a P. L, U, G, plug and chug. Thank you, Miss Maxon. So I'm going to plug in, I'm going to use a different color. I'm going to plug in 2 into my equation. Technically, I'm doing this. Remember back in pre-algebra? So negative 0.5 times 2 squared plus 0.8 times 2 plus 3.6. Well, that's going to be negative 0.5 times 4. You do not need a calculator. Plus, what's half of 80 cents? I'm sorry. What's 80 cents multiplied by 2? What's 80 cents? You got 80 cents in one hand, $1.60. Thank you. Plus 3.6. All right, now this question right here, it's gonna make some of y'all really think. What's half of 4? 2. Thank you. Plus 1.6 plus 3.6. So you owe somebody $2. You give them $1.60. What do you still owe? You still owe them 40 cents. You owe somebody 40 cents and you have 360. What's the outcome if you pay them the 40 cents? So your height is 3.2. So 3.2 is right here. Okay, let's go back to the question. I'm sorry, I'm trying to find the question. All right, at what 2 distances from the base of the height after jumping was the frog 3.7 feet? 3.7 would be up here because there's 3.6. 3.7 would be right there. So you can do this with the calculator. Or you can set it equal, f of x equal to 3.7. I'm going to use the calculator because that's the easiest way to do it. So type in, first of all, turn stat plot off. And now y is equal. And negative 0.5 x squared plus 0.8x plus 3.6. And then I'm going to type in 3.7 and graph. Now you got to hit zoom standard or zoom fit because it ain't going. I've been working in stats. I'm sorry. So zoom And somewhere there's a zoom fit and a zoom standard. Zoom standard is 6. There we go. Up, there's our tube. I can't see it, so I'm going to go to zoom, box. And I'm going to put my first corner right. I know it's not going to be negative, but, and I'm going to highlight just that area right in there. You can do this through window also. There's our 2 curves. And there's our first intersection. So I hit second, trace, intersect. First, yes. Second, yes. Yes. And it's right about there. So our first X is 0.136675. So our first X for 3.7 is 0.13667504. Let's find our other X. Second, trace, intersect. Yeah. All right, my guess is going to be over here. 1.463325. And that's your answers there. Now, I don't know if they want a decimal, but I'm going to put a decimal. So it says round to the nearest 10th, use commas. So 0.1, comma, 1.5. At what point did it reach the vertex? So let's find our vertex. Let's go to the handy dandy calculator. And let's find that vertex right there. Second, trace, maximum. And the left bound, and it's just, all this does is slow down the math. I mean, it speeds up the math. It tells it to look between these 2 points. And the guess is probably right in there. And our vertex is 0.8 or 0.79999908. And that's going to be 3.92. And that's your vertex. Round to the nearest hundredth. So that's going to be 0.80, comma, 3.92. And I probably didn't round correctly. Let's see what they rounded to. Oh, they just want the, oh, they want the X. I'm sorry. 0.8. What was the maximum height reached? Oh, come on. 3.92. I love this question. Why do I love this question? Because this has everything in it besides completing the square. This has everything in it that I want you to be able to do when you come out of chapter 3. Okay, and a lot of you saying, well, I didn't know that. Yeah, you did. Back in preschool, I mean pre-algebra, you knew how to make this chart. And 3 of these answers, you plugged in 2 for X and you plugged in 3.7 for Y. So you know how to do this. Now you could have went the chains and whips way and put the X, and then you would have had a mess to solve for. But the easiest way to find the 3.7s is with the calculator. Now, who sent this question? And if you don't mind me asking, did you try doing the calculator with the 3.7? Y is equal to 3.7. That would be the easiest way. Anybody? I don't know who sent it. So, and the vertex, the easiest way to find it is with the calculator. Now, okay, what did you see? It was easier doing the calculator? Miss Maxon, do you think it's easier doing the calculator? Okay. Now, notice that this is decimals. So the best way to do this problem is the quadratic what? Quadratic formula. Okay. So if you did want to find the x-intercepts or the vertex, you would use the quadratic formula and do the negative b over 2a, plug that back in and get the vertex. Or you could just, when I tell students, when you got one with decimals, that's calculator stuff. There ain't even no need to do the quadratic formula because the calculator will do it for you. Okay? Now I could be mean and make you do that with quadratic, completing the square. But I'm not going to do that to you because I like y'all. Okay, so that's 10:05. Let's see what time y'all. Oh, it's already over. Class is already over. All right, so all I got to do is turn off the recording. I got to check the attendance for those people